you are not acting in commerce. Admiralty maritime law, the law that they try to apply to you every time they stop you for a ticket, every time they hold you up to this obligation that you're supposed to have documentation to travel, you're supposed to have license, you're supposed to have insurance. None of that actually, in fact, applies to you. You just think it does, because whenever they say, "Do you understand?" you say, "Yes, officer, I do," which by legal definition is agreeing to the terms of the contract that he is stating verbally. A simple "I do not consent" will stifle him in his tracks. All laws outside the natural laws are only voluntary. You must remember this. You are considered a free man on the land until you submit yourself, or you stand in honor of the judge, or you swear an oath to be under this. The whole thing is a big ruse anyway. It's all under maritime law, and they're just passing it off as our society's laws. And just because you don't know this means that you are submitting to it because you haven't objected to it. You haven't not consented to it. So just keep it in mind. Keep it in mind. Here's a reiteration of the timeline to include the point of realization. It's basically all the legal steps you can take to renege or whatever the word is. Basically, find remedy for the fraudulent agreement that you've been in. You file your UCC-1. You basically claim yourself as the natural person being a representative of now your fictitious legal identity, and you become its representation, and they no longer have priority and have jurisdiction over your person. This is possibly has some huge implications around the world, around America, around anywhere, because once this type of knowledge gets out there that they're in fact performing this very simple sleight of hand, the whole world's going to go up in a tiff, and we're going to put the system back where it belongs as the servants of the people. Just remember, you are not the legal person. You are not you're not the documentation that shows, that proves you're alive. You are the person, and you have a right to that person, and that person has a right to not be subject to anybody but your creator. It helps the more research you do, the more you read, the more you watch, the more you stop, sucking off the tit of mainstream media. As soon as you stop believing in all the patriotic bullshit, trust me, I was a Marine. Nobody believes the patriotic bullshit more than I did. But I believed the lies, so now I know what the opposite is. So I owe humanity just as much effort in the opposite direction, because I fought for the bad guys. I was in Iraq. It was not good. Here's a simple proof of the banking fraud, which is part of the system because it is a corporation just the same as our government. But it's the one that solely has the responsibility and the ability to print as much money as they want. So they can create any type of amount of money. If I give you $1 and then I say I need $1.25 back, but that's the only dollar in existence, how is that possible? Well, I have to basically give you more money in order to cover that last little bit. So it's a perpetual system that will never go away, and it forces everybody to scrape and steal from each other, take from each other, and then it all gets funneled back up to the top. They print more, and then the process repeats itself. It's basically who can handle the life inside the funnel the best. It's mathematically impossible to work itself out. So all this debt talk and everything else, it's all just a ruse to make you want some more, to make you worry, whatever. Let it crash. Let it all come down. And then we'll see them for the true clowns they are.